Here's that lake effect snow machine really getting its act together. Look at this heavy rain. It is about to get loud here in Louisville. Now, tropical storm warnings are in effect for Boston. Oh, and I hope you like roller coasters because we're about to go downhill. By the end of this week and into next weekend, we're tracking a big pattern change. The forecast next. Strongest rotation, and we've been noticing some of the winds aloft have been very strong higher up in the atmosphere, and these winds are mixing down to the surface. The winds are really picking up here in Ocean City, and this makes sense. The core of Elsa is now here, and tropical cyclones can spin up these tornadoes, and that's what we're dealing with tonight. Behind me, there's a boat that has completely been blown over from its ramp that it was sitting on. Right behind me, you can see, including portions of the Louisville Metro, just southeast of downtown Louisville. This is impressive rotation heading northeast towards St. Matthews, Audubon Park, Jeffersontown, Hollow Creek, Heritage Creek. Get in your safe spot right now. We're already statistically past the hottest time of the year, so it's going to start to feel a little more comfortable. So that is some good news, Delia, as we head through the next several days. We're going to keep the humidity low in our forecast, and we're going to bring back some sunshine by Monday. But first, we have to get through some rain. Yeah, and you called it. No rain out here right now, but we are expecting some showers at times as we head into your long extended holiday weekend. But nothing is going to put a damper on World Fest, right? You don't want to know how long it's been since I've washed my car, so I think I'm going to go do it over the weekend. 85 on Saturday. Here's a look at the updated totals. Are you kidding me? 66 inches of snow in Orchard Park, New York, because fall arrives Saturday, just about 7 days away, but Santa arrives 100 days away.
Come on, get out of here with that.
I had to do it. 100 days.
Summer is not even over yet.
And Daniel Johnson, you had a busy morning yesterday. Today, you're bringing all the good news for our weekend.
Right, a little more relaxed this morning. We don't have impact weather with all that active weather, the thunderstorms. However, some of us are going to run into patchy fog this morning, and it is dense in some spots.
Now, your WLKY weather with meteorologist Daniel Johnson.
It was another sunny and warm Saturday. Mother Nature has been spoiling us lately when it comes to our nice weekend weather. We had picture-perfect weather for Louder Than Life, for Bourbon and beyond. So the past couple of weekends, and this weekend, just another incredible one with lots of sunshine. And we're going to keep it going into tomorrow. But there's a big cool down on the 7-day. We'll show you that coming up. Here's a live look. All is quiet in downtown Louisville. It's 72 degrees. Outlying areas a little bit cooler, already down into the 60s. The wind light out of the east-northeast at 5 miles per hour. Look how warm it was today. 86 degrees, more like summer. The humidity's low, but still very warm, well above our average high, which is 77 degrees this time of year. And no rain. It is still extremely dry out there, and we're going to stay in a dry pattern and also a warm pattern as we kick off October tomorrow. Big high pressure down to our south in Texas, right along the Gulf Coast, is creating this ridge across the eastern half of the nation. And when you're under a ridge, you're typically warm and dry, and that will be the case here. But notice the greens and yellows along the Pacific Northwest. That's a trough, which is the opposite of a ridge. That trough will be here next weekend, bringing us our first real shot of chilly fall air. But until that happens, high pressure's in control, keeping us dry, temperatures above average, and we're tracking that possible pattern change heading into next weekend with a big drop in temperatures. But for the next few days, get out and enjoy this nice weather. Take advantage of it. 85 tomorrow, 87 on Monday. We're getting close to 90 by Tuesday and Wednesday. No records will break. Our records are in the upper 90s, but it's still going to be quite warm. I mean, it's pool weather here to kick off early October. Wish those pools were still open, right? Temperatures out the door in the 60s for most of us at this hour. A couple of cooler numbers, 59 in North Vernon, 60 in Carrollton, Bardstown, 65 degrees. There is nothing going on across the eastern half of the nation. Clear skies. High pressure in control. The only active weather really in the U.S. is out toward the Pacific Northwest where that trough is that I mentioned. So cooler and unsettled air across that part of the country. For us, though, high pressure in control, meaning clear skies tonight, low temperatures in the low 60s here in the city, 50s for outlying areas to right around 60. There's a look at how cool it will be tonight. Seymour, North Vernon, some of our typical cooler numbers in the mid and upper 50s. For tomorrow, just like today, bright sunshine, warm temperatures in the mid 80s, and then those numbers will begin to climb as we head through the first week of October. Can you believe that? But look at all the sunshine. There's hardly going to be a cloud in the sky tomorrow. A beautiful first day of October starting in the 60s, and then temperatures climbing nicely into the mid 80s. Here's that 7-day forecast. We're close to 90 by Wednesday, and then here comes the strong cold front. We're down to 73 on Friday with a few showers, and wow, 60s for highs on Saturday, 50 for the low. That means 40s for outlying areas. And Lauren, it could get cooler than that by next Sunday.
But you know what? You gave us a good run.
I know, we really had a warm, comfortable summer.
Sure.
And a dry one, too. So we still need the rain.
Okay.
And some people are rooting for the cooler air, and it's on its way.
And I want to say, keep coming, sunshine.
I know, the sun's sticking around.
Very good. Thanks, Danielle.
Well, from Mayfield to Fern Creek, Kentucky has been hard hit by tornadoes in the last year.
And if it seems like it's getting worse, you're right. And a recent study shows tornado activity has actually been increasing in our area for the past several decades. Meteorologist Daniel Johnson takes a look at the science behind this disturbing trend in forecasting our future.
Tornadoes leveled entire communities in western Kentucky in December and tore the roof off of a house in Fern Creek in April. May and June are considered the most active months when it comes to tornadoes in the United States. But this year, dozens of families across Kentucky learned tornadoes can strike anywhere and in any season. And there's strong evidence suggesting tornadoes are occurring more frequently and in certain specific areas.
Arkansas, Mississippi, Alabama, Tennessee, Kentucky, Indiana, and Illinois, really that kind of core area of the southern part of the Midwest and then the Mid-South. That's where the core of the increase has really been.
A 2018 study led by NIU meteorology professor Victor Gensini shows there's been an eastward trend in tornado frequency over the last several decades, meaning tornadoes are increasing in the Midwest, Ohio Valley, and Southeast. And tornadoes are actually decreasing in the region traditionally known as Tornado Alley.
Over the last 40 years, places like Oklahoma City and Dallas, Texas have gone down in the number of counts that they see every year in tornadoes, and they've been up in places like Louisville or Mayfield, Kentucky.
The study looked at tornado reports from 1979 to 2017, along with environmental conditions during those years. Researchers found both an increase in tornado reports and favorable environmental conditions, specifically in areas east of Tornado Alley.
It's not that, Oklahoma doesn't get any tornadoes or Texas doesn't get any tornadoes. Certainly they do, and they get them with high frequency, just not as high a frequency as perhaps they did in the 1980s or 1970s.
Chief Meteorologist Damon Lane at our sister station, KOCO in Oklahoma City, says he has noticed the change.
Certainly, you can see a bit of that decrease in conditions favorable for tornadoes out in western Oklahoma, but really the decrease that I think we're seeing out in western Oklahoma and even here in central Oklahoma as well is one that a statistician can be able to pick out because it's such a small number.
So is Tornado Alley shifting?
I more so look at it, and what I have observed out here in Oklahoma is more of an expansion of Tornado Alley, not so much a shift. The term Tornado Alley, I think, is expanding farther to the east, but it's definitely not shifting because we're still seeing them quite a bit here.
So what's causing this change in tornado activity, and is this the new normal? Dr. Gensini says he's noticed the change in Oklahoma's climate specifically, which is likely one reason for the slight decrease in tornado frequency there.
If you look at the sort of what we expect in the future to happen with our global climate models and our model simulations, it certainly says places like Texas and Oklahoma will continue their drying and warming trend, almost moving towards a more arid and desert-like climate.
So as the pattern dries out across portions of Tornado Alley, the more favorable environmental conditions will only shift to the east. And the already unstable, humid, and warm air across the Gulf of Mexico will only help increase the chances of severe weather, including potential tornadoes here in Kentucky and Indiana. As the climate continues to shift across the country, it's important to stay weather aware.
Make sure you have a tornado action plan. Make sure you know what to do during a tornado watch to get yourself prepared.
An action plan a Fern Creek family credits with saving their lives. Daniel Johnson, WLKY News.
Thank you, Daniel. And Dr. Gensini says he's continued to monitor tornado reports and environmental conditions across the country since his study was released in 2018. The data since then has only strengthened the conclusion that tornado activity is increasing across the Ohio Valley.